If I can go ahead and call the meeting to order, please. Miss Diane?
Yes, sir. Ross?
Here.
Hamilton?
Here.
Taylor? Here. Robinson?
Here.
Baxter?
Here.
Harris?
Here.
Gann? Here. And Height?
Present.
The quorum is present, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Gann, if you would.
Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we are grateful for your blessings on our great city. We thank you for the wise leadership in many areas of North Little Rock government. Please guide us tonight with our votes as council members. We're asking for your protection and your wisdom to each police officer, firefighter, MEMS, personnel, and all city employees. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded.
Motion and second to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton? Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Any communications like to be pulled?
Move to accept and file communications 1 and 2.
Second.
On the
set.
motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Presentations. Where are you, Anna? There you are. I think we have a film for you, don't we?
You do.
Okay. Let's look at this first, and then I'll call you up, okay?
Hi everyone, my name's Anna Sawyer and I'm the Community Garden Director for the City of North Little Rock. It's been a long and hot summer, but we've had a great time planting, growing, harvesting, and donating all across the city. We're getting geared up for our fall season, but before we get into that, I'd like our partners at Potluck Food Rescue to talk a little bit about what we've been up to this past summer.
My name is Sylvia Blaine. I'm the Executive Director at Potluck Food Rescue, and the mission of Potluck Food Rescue is to save good food from going to waste and give it to hungry people. Potluck has a fleet of 3 vans, and we have a scheduled route, and we pick up food from commercial kitchens, grocery stores, caterers and restaurants in the Central Arkansas area. And that food comes back to Potluck. It is stored and inventoried and then redistributed to hunger relief agencies in the Central Arkansas area. But also we were able to partner with the City of North Little Rock Parks and Rec Department this year to provide food for the warming stations that were open during our snow anomaly. It's a little bit full circle for us to get food in from the City of North Little Rock Community Gardens and then be able to distribute food to the warming center. So we're excited about expanding our relationship with the City of North Little Rock. Potluck does not do any direct service, which means that we are not directly feeding people. We are giving food to agencies that are doing that work on our behalf. But we distribute enough food to feed about 18,000 people per month. In Arkansas, 1 in 5 people are food insecure. So it is everywhere in the state. It is everywhere in Central Arkansas.
Now, just because the summer is over, our work does not stop. In fact, now is one of the better times to start a garden since the weather's cooling down. This September, we welcomed the Veterans Trail Garden into our network and funded 6 gardens already in our program. If you missed out on site applications for this season or are interested in starting your own backyard garden, we've got some tips for you. So today we're at the greenhouse at Heifer Urban Farm located in Little Rock. Right now we're going to be starting seeds for our fall planting season, and we're going to start off by bringing some Pro Mix into the greenhouse. The Heifer International Urban Farm has graciously allowed us to use their greenhouse space while we repair our own. Seedlings are fragile and are likely to die if they are not stored properly. Planting them in a greenhouse or a temperature-controlled area will keep the seedlings warm and protected. First, we'll grab our planting trays. Make sure your trays are 2 to 3 inches deep with drainage holes, giving your starters enough room to root and not drown. Fill your planting trays with Pro Mix, which is a high-quality plant-growing soil mixture. Make sure your slots are filled with the soil mixture, but not too compacted. Select your desired seasonal seeds and make labels so you don't lose track of what's planted where. Make indents into each cell of your tray. The depth of your hole will depend on the type of seed you're planting. Grab your seeds and carefully drop 1 or 2 seeds into each cell. Then cover your seeds with your soil mixture. Once all of your seeds are in the trays, you'll water them. The soil seedlings grow in need to be moist or wet, but not too damp, and it should never dry out in between waterings. To achieve this, you should check on your seeds more than once a day, and you'll probably water them at least once, if not twice. The germination process for your seedlings typically takes 1 to 3 weeks, depending on the type of seed and how warm you keep them. You'll want to wait a few more weeks for the plant to mature so they can be more resilient once they're in the ground. While this happens, you'll want to figure out where you're going to plant your seeds once they're ready. If you're planning on planting in an in-ground row, you'll want to get your soil tested.
The University of Arkansas Cooperative Extension Services provides free soil testing to Arkansans. What you're going to want to do is dig a hole around 4 inches deep and make sure that you remove any rocks, leaves, or any other debris in your soil. You'll want to collect at least 12 soil samples from the area that you're planning on using it as your garden. Once they're collected, go ahead and drop them off on a piece of newspaper or cardboard and let them dry off for a few days. Make sure you label your soil samples to keep track of what soil came from what part in the garden. Once your soil samples are dry, go ahead and bring them over to the U of A Extension office in Little Rock to get them tested.
If you find your soil isn't the best for planting, don't worry. There are other options for you.
Over time, you can amend your soil with certain additives, including compost, manure, diatomaceous earth, lime, and bone meal.
If you're too eager to wait, building raised beds or a keyhole garden would be your best bet.
Raised beds are exactly that. It's a garden bed raised above the soil. The Hayes Senior Center garden used treated lumber to build portable and ADA-compliant raised beds. The benefits of having a garden on wheels is that you're able to maximize sunlight for your plants. Having beds on wheels also allows folks with limited mobility to access their garden and their plants. The Dark Hollow Community Garden has built 2 very large raised beds with a mixture of corrugated metal and treated lumber. The large size of these raised beds allows for the community to maximize the amount of plants grown. The Skyline Community Garden uses untreated wood for their raised beds. Untreated wood is typically cheaper and poses no health risks to both animals and humans using the wood. They use a variety of triangle and rectangle shaped beds to take advantage of the space that their garden is set in. A keyhole garden is typically a circular raised garden with a keyhole shaped indentation on one side. That indentation allows gardeners to add uncooked vegetable scraps, gray water, and manure into a composting basket that sits in the center of the bed. This way, the composting materials can be added to the basket throughout the growing season and provide nutrients for the plants over the year. Some of the benefits of raised bed gardening or keyhole gardening include less weeds, a better water retention in areas that have super sandy soil, more growing space, and no soil compaction from human feet. Gardens change dramatically year to year, season to season, day by day. It's a new experience constantly, and if you let it happen, it's going to benefit you, your community, and the surrounding environment. I want to thank our partners, community gardeners, and volunteers for all their hard work and support over this past year. I also want to thank you for keeping up with all that's happening in the North Little Rock Community Garden Program. If you or anyone you know is interested in starting a fall garden or starting a community garden, please feel free to reach out to me at my email and phone number listed below. If you just want to keep up with what we've got going on a daily basis, whether it be work days, planting days, or any other fun activities, give us a follow at our Instagram page at North Little Rock Community Gardens. Let's keep growing for change and digging for the future, y'all.
Anna? Thank you very much. Way to go, Anna.
Thank you.
Way to go,
I
girl.
appreciate it.
What else you got going?
So recently, we do have a few exciting developments going on. We've been asked to participate in a food access initiative study through the Southern Illinois University through a PhD students program in public health. We've also been asked to join Gardopia. They're growing our future podcast, so we've been asked to be a guest speaker on that. And we have been nominated for Engage Arkansas's Community of the Year Award for our community garden program. So I want to thank y'all for all your support. We've really grown this year, and I'm excited to keep doing what we've been doing.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much. Any
thank
questions
you.
for Anna? If not, thank you, Anna. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Diane, public comment?
The one that we have is at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
And then the others are all on legislation.
Online? Okay, got
Yeah.
it. So it's, So if that's the case, then let's go ahead and go with unfinished business, I think.
Okay, so first you have the 3 items on the consent agenda.
Yes, please. R121, so call.
Do y'all want to pull any of those?
Yes,
Which one?
R 2174.
Okay. Is that the only one? Is there a motion and a second on the rest, the other 2?
So moved.
Second.
I have a question. The Metro scrap metals, did I hear right? They are producing, is it aluminum for Toyota?
I know, I was out there the other day, and I remember who was with me, but they do produce that aluminum. Go ahead, Robert, why don't you come up and talk about it for just a sec, please? Because we're out there at that.
Did I hear 50,000 pounds a day or something, or is that?
That's Alltech Recycling. That's the former Tenenbaum facility. They are directly partnered with Toyota of America.
Who does this pertain to?
Do what?
Who does this one pertain to? Is it the same thing? So it's Consolidated Incentive Act number 2003. Who is this going to, those my
I don't
question?
know. I didn't put that one on there.
You- Anybody know, Amy? Do you want to hold it? I'd rather hold it if we don't have a good understanding about it.
Are they usually when we have this, the company that asks for it, it goes through AEDC and they're doing some expansion and all this does is gives them their sales tax back on the sales taxable property that they have bought for their expansion. It's usually a pretty minimal amount.
Yeah, that was the one that was sent directly from AEDC, and I just forwarded it to Amy, so.
So there's R121-172 and R21-73 on the consent. Can y'all ask for a motion in a second?
So we have a motion and a second, so now they just need to do the all in favor thing.
Do it. All in favor?
Aye.
And then,
Okay. So on 174,
please call it.
resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute real estate contract to sell certain real property located at 3500 Camp Robinson in the city of North Little Rock to Terry Perkins and Brooke Palmquist.
Aren't they all here tonight? Ms. Ross?
Let's get a motion in a second
I was
first.
going to, let's do the
So moved.
motion in a second. If I was going to bring it
Second.
up. Second, motion in a second. Now, if you don't mind, you want an explanation, I think. Would you want some?
Well, I was just I know Brooke's going to kill me, but I would like for her to come up and just kind of give us an explanation, because I've had a lot of questions asked.
Come on up, please, if you don't mind.
What are you doing? What are you going to do it with?
And state your name when you get to the microphone.
Oh, Terry's there too.
Hi, I'm Brooke Palmquist.
I'm Terry Perkins.
Thank y'all very much. There's been some questions about the building you're trying to purchase, so can you give us an explanation of what you got up your sleeve?
Okay, so I grew up in Levy, and ever since I was a kid, I love that building, and I don't want to see it go down. To me, it's a North Little Rock icon. And we tossed around some ideas, but we aren't really sure yet. But if anything, we're going to clean it up, keep the yard up, pay the taxes, and get the trash out of it.
Yeah, I was there the other day, I guess about a month or two ago, and it's getting pretty snappy, so I'm glad. So, yes, Ms. Ross, anything?
I was just going to say, I know that, and we've had, a lot of homeless in there that there's been some issues with down there also too. And so just getting that cleaned out. And one thing I want to say, and this is something that came from the Neighbors United for Levy meeting. I know Councilmember Baxter was there, and they were asking about the Welcome to Levy sign that's on the property. They were the ones that got the state grant to put that in. And they were like, well, what happens to that? Well, we have to move it. And so, and I spoke with you, and you said you love that sign. So,
I think it's cool.
So, that's a great partnership there with the neighbors there too, to leave that.
So y'all know that sign, we went way back to find out who actually put that sign up. So if you have any intent about doing anything with that sign, you've got to please pick up the phone and call us, okay? Because I know that goes back, if I'm not mistaken, to Mrs. Thoreau, is that who it was, Ms. Thoreau? Anyway, it's across my desk, okay? But you don't have any intent except to leave that Levy sign there, correct?
We want to leave it there.
We'll freshen it up and maintain it.
I appreciate you doing that very much.
We knew half the people on, that were listed on the sign.
So anything else?
I guess one of the things, a lot of people, they're, what's the purpose? And, as long as we know that somebody's going in to keep it cleaned up and not just to go and let it just sit there and rot. That's always been my question, is what are you going to do with it?
Mr. Taylor.
Okay, I'm so confused. So you guys are buying the property,
Hopefully, we want to.
and we as the sellers, we're trying to ask them what they're gonna do with the property that they're buying?
That's what we're doing, Mr.
Yes.
Taylor.
So you guys, you do know you don't have to tell us what you're gonna do.
It's a special building.
I get that, but what I do when I'm not doing city council business is sell real estate and teach real estate, so once you buy the
Don't mind.
I get that, but once you buy the property, it's yours. So,
We understand that.
We don't want code enforcement after us or anything.
Mr. Hamilton, yes.
So Councilman Taylor is exactly right, which is why I'm not concerned about y'all. I have heard nothing but wonderful things about y'all. But before our city-owned property that we really have an interest in is sold, we also agree, iconic's a strong word for that building, but maybe not. It's a centerpiece. It's definitely an entryway into Levy. And that means I have a lot of interest in what happens there. And I've never met you in person. I've heard great things about you. But even before we have sold to people we know and trust completely, we know what they're doing with the property. If we sell this to them and they decide to tear it down the day after the contract is sold, they may do so. Am I right, Councilmember Taylor?
yeah.
I want us to keep that in mind, that without a plan and without, we even selling to Chandler next to the plaza, we weren't going to sell it to him unless there were clauses in the contract that said if you haven't done anything with it in 1 year, then it comes back, or you have to take an option on it. It's an important piece of Levy property, and if it is voted on and it is approved that we are selling this, we are doing it on trust alone. Because once they have the property and own it, Councilmember Taylor is correct, they don't have to say a thing, they can tear it down. I don't believe they will, I don't think that's true. But
Wait a minute.
without having further conversations, I can't vote for it because of how the neighborhood feels about that building.
Mr. Height.
And
Oh, I'm sorry.
without further conversations as well.
I'm just curious, did we put in the offer or did we stipulate that there had to be a plan in place before the buyer could buy it, the purchaser could buy it? Did we stipulate that?
Robert? Amy?
In the original, am I on? Yeah. In the original resolution, if I remember correctly, Councilmember Ross had made a motion for the resolution to be amended, that the property be listed, and that one of the conditions in the listing agreement that it be subject to approval of a development plan with development timelines. The Realtor received this offer. Mayor Hartwick is sponsoring the legislation to sell it under the conditions in the contract that is attached, which do not include a development plan, even though that was in the original resolution. You all can still approve the sale of the property, subject to the conditions in this contract, that's just up to you all.
Yes,
I have a question for Robert Birch. As far as, and you may want to come up here to answer this. So as far as the property's been listed, and yes, I did ask for that to be added because that's what we were putting on other properties, and that was when I was curious why that was piece of property didn't have it. So how much interest have we had in this property?
We had a little initially, but with the limited parking and what needs to be done with the building, it's all dropped off.
Okay. And I understand the building has, structural problems, when we had the fire department there, so I understand that. And as far as if they want to tear it down, it's not a historic building, it would be nice, but I can't even imagine the hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it back, get the structurally repaired on that one.
It's going to be a lot of money and that,
Straight.
we had an offer of one place that wanted a bed and breakfast, we had an offer of one place that thought about putting a boxing gym in there, until they found out how much it was gonna cost to rehabilitate totally that building.
Right.
For the purposes what they wanted. With them, it's more of a heartfelt gesture to the community, which I think is pretty important. I mean, it's somebody from that community that wants to keep that building in place. And I've had the same questions you've had through the whole process with Jumpstart of what was going to happen to that building when we moved out of it. But there's a reason we moved out of it, and there's a reason that we had a lot of initial offers that wanted it, and they still kind of trickle in here and there. But in talking with Mark Bentley with Colliers, who was representing it, he highly suggested that we move forward without that in there.
all right. Anything else? If not, go ahead.
I'm not sure the building can be saved. I was part of the sales tax campaign that went in there and literally photographed everything that was wrong with that building, saying we need a new fire station. So I'm not sure that can be saved.
But could you put a stipulation in or an amendment in of keeping the grounds up, keeping it, clean, keeping the sign clean like they've said they were going to do, to have that in the agreement?
Well, I mean, no offense, but that's our responsibility. Why isn't it being done now? We own that building. Why aren't we taking care of it?
I can tell you, I was out there, I guess, 2 months ago, and it's right in the middle of the Levy Jumpstart, first off.
Yeah.
So to even get any of our equipment in there has been
Hard to get
tough.
in there.
So it's been very, very tough. Second thing is, we had people there that didn't need to be there. Second thing is, I saw our air conditioner about to be gone at one time. So, make a long story short, it's not gone. So,
Check on it.
so, and I know you did. So again, there's a lot of reasons we haven't been doing anything because Levy Jumpstart's been taking now about a year, if I'm not mistaken. And it being very tough, but we're doing the best we can. So if there's not any more questions, yes, ma'am.
And I just wanted to add something to what Mr. Birch said. They're already, if they purchase the property, the city code already requires that so whether there's a stipulation in there or not, that's already required by law that the grounds be kept up and that, and that the code be complied
She's already said
with.
she didn't want to see Felicia back there behind her, that's what I'm saying, so, yeah. Yes, sir, Mr. Taylor.
Well, and just so you guys know, I don't have a dog in the fight. I mean, I don't care if you buy it or not buy it. It's a building to me, piece of real estate. But my concern was that you guys were being put under pressure to tell what you're gonna do with the building. And once you buy a piece of real estate, unless there's some conditions in the deed or the covenants, you can do what you want to with it, it's yours. So.
All right, any more discussion? It's a motion, is there a motion and a second?
Yes, sir.
Please call it.
What's the motion?
To adopt.
To adopt?
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
No.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very, very much, we appreciate it. Thank you.
A new business, R21-175, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call this.
A resolution amending the 2021 budget for the city of North Little Rock to include additional expenses in the 2017 Capital Improvement Fund.
Miss, go ahead.
Need a motion and a
Add my
second.
name and Councilmember Taylor's name to this.
Please add Councilmember Robinson and Councilmember Taylor to this resolution, please.
Okay. And is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Ross?
Okay, since this is coming out of the 2017 sales tax, which is for streets and drainage only, There will not be any funds out of this used for bike trails, will there? Because
Not
I
out
know
of
that
this,
was
there
one.
will not be, no.
That was, one of the questions when that sales tax was up. Oh, we're gonna just
Well, I
go
can
build
put a
bike
line
trails.
down the road saying so much, the street's gonna be X amount wide.
Right.
But there'll be not any funds used for that, they'll be illegal, let's put it that way.
No bike trails included. Okay.
No, wait a minute. I'm saying that the street will be so wide, I may put a line down the road.
Oh, a Cheryl.
Designated.
Oh,
So,
Cheryl, that's,
okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-176, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution amending the 2021 budget for the City of North Little Rock to include additional expenses in the 2017 Capital Improvement Fund.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion adopted, and there's a second.
No discussion. On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-177,
Please.
Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Getting there. Resolution authorizing premium pay to full-time and part-time employees and amending the 2021 budget for the City of North Little Rock to include these payments for eligible city employees.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion adopted, and a bunch of seconds.
Any discussion? On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
And Mayor, the next group is where you're going to convene a public hearing.
Let's do this, convene a public hearing, that would contain reading, go ahead, that'd be R
Okay,
178 and through, yes, if you don't
So the
mind.
public hearings are on R21-178, 2705 Arkansas Avenue, R21-179, 4414 Rogers Street, R21-180, 2912 East 4th Street, R21-181, 904 North F Street, R21-182, 2211 East 2nd Street, and these are condemnations, and there should be pictures on the screen.
Put the pictures up, please, back there. You got them? Thank you. I am. Yeah, I'm going after see him, I'm going to call it, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Wow. I am going to call a public hearing, those that just saw, and those wishing to speak for or against it, I'll ask you to come forward. Seeing none, I'm going to adjourn the public hearing.
And the first one's R21-178, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2705 Arkansas Avenue in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion adopted, second.
On the motion, Ross? Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-179, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 4414 Rogers Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion adopted, second.
On the motion, Ross? Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-180, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2912 East 4th Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion adopted, second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-181, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 904 North F Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Move to adopt.
Motion adopt.
Second.
There's a second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-182, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2211 East Second Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance.
Move for
and condemning
adoption.
said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
Second.
There's a motion and a second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-183, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 612 Potluck Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion adopted, second again.
Need to convene a public hearing.
And that's right, I got to call a public hearing. I'm sorry, I forget that. I got to call a public hearing on this. Let me convene one. The ones people wouldn't speak for it or against it, please come to the microphone. Those I see none, I'm going to adjourn the public hearing. Please call it.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-184, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it again.
Resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property at 520 Middle Street in the city of North Little Rock.
So
For
moved.
motion?
Second.
And the motion, then I need to call a public hearing, convene a public hearing again. So I will convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for it or against it, please come forward. And seeing none, I will adjourn the public hearing. Please call it.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R21-185, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Resolution approving and certifying amounts of liens to be filed with Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real properties in the city of North Little Rock as a result of grass cutting expenses and abatement of other nuisances.
Move for adoption.
Second.
With that, let me convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against this resolution, please come forward. And seeing none, I will adjourn the public hearing. Please call
The
it.
motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Ordinances, O2194, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending the 2021 quota ordinance, ordinance number 9323 for certain departments, first reading. Is there a motion?
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
O2195, council members Robinson and Taylor.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 9357, which granted a special use for a food truck court in a C6 zone for property located at 601 West 4th Street in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Motion suspend second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Ross, please.
No, my question, in the photo of the fence that they're proposing, this wooden fence, is that, I don't know. I can't tell by looking at the picture how wide space is. If this was to be used to prevent trash moving onto the property, is that going to stop trash by looking at this photo? Looks like wide spaced.
Well, regarding the fence and the legislation, I spoke with the boosters, the presidents of those members, the leaders of that organization, and they did not see a need for a fence along Broadway. And they felt like if this business put up the set out garbage cans, trucks, garbage cans, and make sure everybody's responsible for putting their trash in the garbage can, which they say usually happen at other places. And so the boosters were not necessarily for a fence north, but we put the fence east, of the property, and they didn't have a problem with us requiring a fence on the east side of the property. So that's why we're doing the amendment, but we did check with the neighbors who did not have a problem. Since the neighbors did not have a problem with the fence not being along Broadway, we decided to move forward.
Taylor?
So I never thought about that option, which is a good option. Then why don't we just eliminate the fence altogether?
Ms. Ross?
Because I'm with Councilmember Ross. I mean, that fence, and then you're not gonna have one on a particular side, then let's just do away with the fence, and they'll just be responsible for putting containers out there and keeping the trash picked up.
Ms. Ross?
At the meeting when we did the businesses along the north side there, that was one of their stipulations that, that they were, okay with the food lot truck and everything, that and no generators. And so, the fence was to keep the trash out because the trash was blowing back that way. It would blow off the lot back that way. So that was put there for the businesses, not the residents on the east side.
So on the Broadway side, where the residences are, no fence. But on the
north,
Fourth Street?
No, the fence would be near Fifth Street, which is on the east side.
No.
What it says.
Come here, guys, come on up here, please.
But I'm with.
We're trying to make this right for you, as you know, so do me a favor. Tell me exactly what you're asking for, please.
Mayor, for the record, this is Lawrence Barbie.
Lawrence, yes.
I know who he is, but go ahead. Please say your name for me.
Lawrence Barbie.
Okay.
Yes. So for the record, we would like to adopt what Councilman Taylor said, no fence at all, for the record, if we could,
So let me go back, and I'm not trying to get into so no fence at all, but didn't we go back, what was it, 3 months ago, maybe 4, and we said when you got your food truck license, you were going to put up a fence. Now, where were you going to put up the fence to start with?
So originally, in the ordinance, I think it was the east and the north.
So it was east was the border Broadway, and then north, which borders that business.
Correct.
So where is it right now that we're trying to say one side of the fence is where? You're going to be on your north side is what I understood, and the east side along Broadway was going to be taken out. Is that the understanding I have?
That was the understanding, yes,
Okay.
correct.
Is everybody with me on that? So the north side, go ahead, Ms. Robinson.
So the tree is located on the north side?
Yes.
Yes.
And Broadway is located on the east side?
It's the long street, yes.
Okay, well, the boosters, don't have a problem with there not being a fence. And so since this is kind of mixed up, I'm going along with Councilmember Taylor, is that we just alleviate the fence altogether, and we trust that they will set out trash receptacles to take care of the trash, because the boosters, they're gonna monitor this.
Ms. Ross?
if we're going to change this and just throw the whole fence out, I really wish that you would hold it so that the businesses along there could weigh in on this, because it's not only, in this legislation, it's to remove the fence from the east side and to lower the fence from 42 inches to, 42 inches to 34 inches. So it's not a very big fence there, but they wanted some protection from the trash blowing from the lot into their property.
Let me ask you something, if you don't mind. We have an ordinance on the books right now, trying to be voted on that. So right now there's been amendment, but it's not been voted on, is what I'm saying. So Ms. Ross has asked, do you want to sit tight and bring it back, or do you want us to try to vote on this tonight?
No, we need to try to vote on, so we can get open. We have to try to get our business open.
Sponsor thing to limit.
Ms. Robinson, were you making a proposed amendment on this paragraph 9 or Mr. Taylor to?
I think what I'd like to, well, frankly, the boosters does not have a problem with there not being a fence. on the east or the north side. So Mr. Taylor was making a suggestion that we just alleviate the fence altogether.
Yeah,
And I'm for that.
So as I'm looking at this picture, this is, the front of the building faces,
The front of his
Oh.
building actually faces south, but to the open
Yeah.
lot, and I've been to your place, as you know, the open lot is actually to the north is open and to the east, which is along Broadway, is open.
yeah, so this fence that's gonna go up will be on the Broadway side at the back of the lot.
At the back of the lot.
And there's nothing back there.
No,
There's nothing back there.
Well, there is, but it's not right on the property line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know, there's a building, I went by and looked at the other day. There is a building back there, but that's off the property line quite a bit, and there is vegetation between his property
Yeah.
and what's back there.
Yeah.
and I believe the city owns that property.
We
You
own
guys
some of it, yes.
Yes.
Food truck's gonna be.
Yes, Ms. Ross?
So let me get this straight, Ross. Let me get this straight. So, the backside of the property,
The north side.
the north
North
side,
side.
that was where the business, and that's the only reason I voted for this, because that was their one objection, was the trash blowing from that. So you're wanting to remove that stipulation also?
Don't look at me.
No, I mean,
That's
is
the
that-
question.
is
The
that-
food trucks.
The food trucks.
If the food trucks aren't gonna be near this business, or this person complaining, because our concern is the food truck. So if the food trucks are not located near that business, then in my mind, there's no need for a fence. If the food trucks are not going to be near this building,
They're not.
near the building or the owner or the business owner that's complaining. And the business owner that complained back then, his business was located, what, behind their business?
He was to the north of you, if I'm not mistaken, and there was some complaint about the area, if I remember right, I'm going by memory, that some of the citizens who lived there across the street in those duplexes or townhouses, there was a gentleman that came to us at that time. But I haven't heard from him or anybody else lately. So I guess the question on right now, let's make it stay straight. You can offer an amendment to this ordinance, and it should read, Miss Amy, if you got something they might discuss.
If one of the council member wants to offer an amendment, well, and I'm not one, so Mr. Taylor has his hand raised.
So I offer the amendment, and I'm looking at this on Google Maps right now, and what looks like behind this lot to me is basically a warehouse.
Several businesses.
Food trucks are nowhere near that.
There's no,
Some carpenters in there who work out and
In
sell
here?
furniture, yeah.
yeah. And then you have, Diamond Bear across the street, and then residents. So behind this is, so my amendment is to remove the stipulation for the fence.
For the fence.
And I'll second it.
Well, hang
Okay.
on just a
and
second.
So give me just a second on this, so
Mr.
that
Baxter,
we're
do you
clear.
want to say anything while we're open for discussion?
So I'm on the goggles here, goggled maps, and 601 is actually where your business is, right, Mr. Barbie?
The whole,
But-
yes,
Hold on just a second. 601 is the address of the building, right?
That's correct.
So what is the address of the open lot, of the parking lot? Is it still 601, or does it have a different address?
I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure, because that was the old Ross Wright Plymouth dealership. So I think 601 was it, plus they had cars on that lot also behind them. Now, I'm going back many, many years, and I guess you bought this from Sammy? Is that who you're buying this through, Sammy Ross?
Yes.
Okay, so if I had to guess, and I don't hate guessing, but I would think that lot would have the same address as the showroom floor, which was 601.
I believe the parcel is, the parking lot and the building are all in the same
All
parcel.
I know, and that's what I was about to say. The way I remember it, it's one parcel, so it's one address.
Okay, that's what I
So
was thinking.
I still have the floor.
Yes,
Okay,
Mr.
so
Baxter,
the last,
step forward.
last thing I go back to is I recall that when this legislation was coming up, that we had some individuals that were here and also received emails on that said they would they would support this based on the conditions as it was listed in the original ordinance. So I'll just say that.
Well, my concern is that the person or the business owner that was wanting a fence is located behind this building, if I'm correct. So our concern for the fence was because of the food trucks and where the food trucks were located. Now, let me say this. Even though the business owner behind the building was concerned about trash right now is being blown over on their lot and the business owner's lot from the gas station and from the lawyer's place and whatever else along there. So what's the purpose of their fence when you got trash blowing across 4th Street from these other businesses? So why are we gonna make them, look like this business owner would be concerned about the trash that's blowing on his property from these other businesses? Our concern tonight, my concern tonight, are the food trucks and the trash and all that from the food trucks, okay? So that's what we're dealing with, is this vacant lot and the food trucks. And like I said, I contacted the boosters, they don't have a problem. They're saying if they put trash receptacles out to catch the trash, they're okay with that.
And I'm thinking, and I'm just trying to, I have a crystal ball on my desk at work, and I look at it every morning, and it tells me absolutely nothing when I look at it. So I don't have anything to tell you. I'm a crystal ball, but I have nothing to tell you. So I'm trying to read the minds of the boosters, and if I'm thinking the way they're thinking, that aesthetically, it would be better without the fence than with the fence, especially just a piece of a fence along the back side of the property, so.
Ms. Ross?
I was looking the council meeting, this was back in June when this was brought up, and there was a communication read from the businesses there, and that was one of their things is, they had, the generators and that was taken care of and the hours and that was all taken care of. But one of the things was the fencing. Since the wind typically blows from the southeast, much of the neighborhood trash ends up in my parking lot. I'd appreciate a fence along the north length of the parking lot to prevent the trash from blowing onto my lot. And so I didn't even contact them to let them know that this was on here because the fence on theirs was going to remain. But now that we're taking their fence out, I feel like, we didn't give them a fair chance to know what was going on here, to even have a comment.
Once again, we're dealing with the food trucks and the parking lot. We're not dealing with the business that's located behind the building. Once again, trash is being blown onto their parking lot, onto their lot, and this business owner's lot probably, from the gas station and from the other businesses that's located along that street. So I'm dealing with this parking lot and where the food trucks are gonna be. Now, what happens behind the building, there shouldn't be any food trucks behind the building. So I'm for us doing away with the fencing altogether.
Let me do this then, guys. Ms. Fields, can you read the amendment that I think Mr. Taylor asked for, please?
I think that the amendment would be on this section 2, paragraph 9, to delete everything down to where it begins, sidewalk to remain clear, clean the site of all litter produced by the mobile food vehicle court at the close of business each day. The rest of it would be deleted. Is that correct, Mr. Taylor?
You have a crystal ball as well.
I do.
There is an amendment by Mr. Taylor,
Second.
and there is a second on the amendment.
What's the amendment?
He just read it. Did you not hear it?
Come on.
Come on, please.
Did you really not hear it?
Okay, there is a motion, a second on the amendment.
On the motion to amend, Ross?
No.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
No.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
No.
Height?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, the motion on the floor has been carried as amended.
Okay, and so now somebody needs to make
So
a
moved.
motion to adopt as amended.
Second.
Motion and second is adopted as amended. Ms. Ross?
Why do we need to adopt it? Because we just took out everything that we took out, that we amended.
Well, it would amend the original ordinance to, that what we're doing with this ordinance is amending the original
Okay, gotcha. I'm
ordinance.
sorry, I had a brain.
Okay.
Please, if you don't mind.
Okay, so if there's no discussion on the motion to amend, or to adopt as amended, Ross?
No?
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Florence, do me a favor,
Yes, sir.
keep it clean.
Oh, yes.
And do a step, I mean, this is, you've got two councilmen stepped up for you. We know what we've been through with this thing.
Right.
So as a business owner, be better than the normal, okay?
Yeah.
All you guys back there, I bet with you before, I know you've got something going. And last thing, I won't bring it up very much, but before you have an event, you gotta go through you gotta go through things there too, as y'all know, okay? Fair enough? Everybody okay with this now? All of you? Thank you very much, let's go.
Okay,
Thanks, Lawrence.
02196, council members Robinson and Taylor.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a special,
What?
Robinson and Taylor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've just lost it. I'm still ticked over that one.
That's okay. It's okay. We
I
understand.
uncalled it. I uncalled it. How's that?
We understand.
Are you guys?
Please call it.
Okay. An ordinance granting a special use to allow a nursing assistant school in an R5 zone for property located at 314 East Emily Street in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
And by the way, we've got someone, if they're still on the phone, Brittany Robinson. Are you still available? Okay. You want me to
Yes,
go
sir,
ahead?
I am.
I'm going to open it up to you for just a second, if I may, please. Yeah, you're on, so go ahead. Ms. Robinson? Brittany?
Yes, sir.
You're on. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, was there a question?
Well, we just saw where you'd called in. We want to make sure we hear you. So if there's not, if you have no objection to this.
Are you the applicant?
She's the applicant.
I understand. I want to make sure she's heard. So if there's
Okay.
no, if you got nothing you want to add, we'll go
Yes.
ahead and go forward,
So
okay?
moved.
There's a, okay.
Second.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to make a note that Brittany Michelle Turner is now Brittany Robinson. So on the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
You stepped out for a sec.
All right, let's undo that. Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
So her item was adopted. So she's free to go.
She is. You can go now. We're free. She's off. Go ahead.
Next item, 02197, council members Robinson and Taylor.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a special use to allow a daycare in an I-2 zone for property located at 205 and 207 Steed Road in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Oh, suspended and seconded.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Hang on. I've got two people still on the phone. Do I need to identify them? It's Troy Caruth. Would you, is there any comment go forward for you, Ms. Caruth?
Yes.
You okay with us going forward? Any comment from you?
Yes. No comment.
Thank you. I want to make sure he's identified. Go forward, please.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Quick note here, okay. 02197, that's the one we just did. 02198, council members Baxter and Harris.
Please call.
An ordinance rezoning property located at 12,000 Paul Ills Drive in the city of North Little Rock from C4 to R4 zoning classification, amending ordinance numbered 9263, adopting an amended land use plan for the subject property.
Move to suspend all reading.
Second.
Oh, suspended and seconded.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
He's still out.
He's still out, okay. Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Is there a motion? Okay.
Before we adopt, I do have someone on the phone on this 2198, if I'm not mistaken. Is it, how do you say that? Ally? Help me with that last. Ally, are you still on the phone? She's unmuted, okay. Is there any comment from you?
No, there is no comment. I'm just listening to see how this goes.
I want to make sure you're identified, so there's no comment. Please go forward then, please.
Okay, and
Thank you.
you have a
Uh-huh.
gentleman here in the audience as well that is here in support of it.
Okay, thank you. You okay? All right, sir.
So on the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
O-2199, council members Ross and Hamilton.
Ooh, that's us. Please call us.
So excited.
I was gonna call it for you.
Thank you.
An ordinance rezoning property located at 900 West Pershing Boulevard in the city of North Little Rock from C3 to C4 zoning classification by amending ordinance number 9263, adopting an amended land use plan for the subject property, first reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Motion suspended, seconded.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So
Motion to
moved.
adopt.
Second.
Motion adopted and seconded.
Councilmember Ross has her hand up.
Question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Ms. Ross.
Paused it tonight.
I'm trying to study, see where we are.
No, I just kind of want to explain what this is because this is exciting. And Brian Dale here is with Joe White and Associates. If you have any questions, the old Kroger,
That's the old Kroger store, yeah.
I'm talking, the old Kroger store on Pike, they're going to bulldoze it. They're going to build a new building. It's an indoor storage facility. There will be absolutely no outdoor storage. They're going to put a sidewalk in the front of it. And I know that's something that Beth White and I had for years tried to get a sidewalk put in there, so it's going to be an addition. It's going to be very clean, and if you go look at, the properties, the other properties that they've built around the
Where
country.
have you built some more properties?
Brian, you
What
want
other properties you've built, if you don't mind? Come on, identify yourself, please.
Brian Dale with Joe White and Associates. The client is actually a two-part. They're out of New Orleans and they're also out of Austin, Texas. But they've built all over the South. They built in Florida, Louisiana, even out in Phoenix. And so when they come to North Little Rock, they're wanting to bring 2 to 3 sites. They've also have 5035 Warden Road under contract.
Do they
We want
really?
to do the same thing in
Okay.
there as well. And they're looking at a third site and 2 more in Little Rock. So it's a 3-story building. It's all indoor storage, climate controlled. Even the dumpster is inside.
Thank God.
So they keep everything self-contained. The dumpster's on wheels on trash day. They wheel it out.
What's your largest unit gonna be, do you think?
A 20 by 20.
You gonna have a 20 by 20?
And they'll have service elevators as well for larger items.
Oh.
What's your construction time frame? Excuse me, Ms. Ross.
They're planning on closing on both sites on January 15th. They would like to hit the ground running, have them open in about 12 months.
That's what I take, okay. Yes, Ms. Ross.
I just, that we're doing so much in the city corridor there buying the Blue Cross building and everything, and this will really add to that. And I've, spoken with some of the businesses down there, and they're very excited. And I know that the residents are not happy because they're not getting a grocery store, but we can't make a grocery store go in there. And so I just want, I keep stressing that the city can't make a grocery store where they don't want to go. I would love to see a grocery store there, but at this time, this option is one of the best options that I've heard of in a long time for that area.
Well, it's always quiet. Many storages are. They have good clientele business. You're gonna have it all indoor, you say. I know you're gonna have it. It usually takes, 1 or 2 employees only it takes. You're gonna have it, I guess, computerized where you hit a code and get in. I know it's gonna be all on TV or you have it monitored, so I agree. This would be something that's gonna clean up that part of that block there. So, anything else from anybody? All right, where were we, Ms. Wood?
Ready for the roll on the motion to adopt. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
021-100. It's
Good
adopted.
job.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you,
Thanksgiving.
call it.
An ordinance rezoning property located at 601 North Olive Street in the city of North Little Rock from C6 to Planned Unit Development PUD zoning classification by amending ordinance 9263, first reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So
Motion
moved.
to-
Second.
Okay.
Motion second.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
021-101, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending the master street plan, ordinance number 8601, to change Highway 70 from a collector to a minor arterial between Highway 391 and the Lonoke County line, first reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
Second. And like with that, I need to convene a public hearing if I'm not
Do you want
mistaken.
me to do the?
Let's do.
Let
oh,
them
go
vote
ahead.
on the
You want-
suspend the
go-
readings and get a
Gotcha.
motion and
All right, let's do it then. Thank
Okay.
you, Amy.
So on the motion to suspend the readings, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Now, right?
Get a motion and second on the
So
table.
moved.
There's another. Motion second. Thank you.
Second, in case nobody, I didn't hear a second.
And there's motion second.
Now
So
convene your public
I am
hearing.
about to do it right now.
Okay.
So, let me convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against this is ordinance 21-101, please come forward. And seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing. Please call it.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton? Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton? Yes. Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes. Mayor?
Concludes, wait a second,
Give me a second.
Oh,
concludes new business, and we have one person that
I
signed in
just had
for
a comment
public
about
comment.
that. I just had my comment.
We have-
My comment was to Sean Spencer, that went a lot smoother than it did the night at the city planning meeting when they were discussing that. I just happened to be watching that night.
Okay, it's public comment time, if you don't mind. We have somebody, I think, is,
Mr. Ard?
please come forward, if you can.
James Hart is here?
If you don't mind, Robert, does he need help? Okay, you got it. Come on up, Stuart.
Hey.
Can I drop the mask?
Please.
Chief took care of my problems, so I don't have to say anything about that. Sorry about that. I do think you need to know that when I had a problem and needed an ambulance, Larry Epson tried to call one in, and Comp Center, for some reason, was refusing to dispatch. I didn't find that out until today. You can ask the lady that's over the, my mind went blank and it's doing it a lot now. Anyway, she was sitting behind me. She can tell you more why it took so long to get to me than I can. I just know our blood pressure went up. You don't need to know why. But Comp Center was refusing to get help quickly. Mr. Montgomery ought to check into that. I guess he's still over it. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. And I'm sorry I had to come down here, but I didn't have any other choice, considering what I needed. But the chief is supposed to take care of it, and the fire chief is supposed to take care of the other one. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving,
Good to see you, Jimmy.
and when I get able, I may come back.
Yes.
Thanks, Jimmy. By the way, he just said again that there's happy Thanksgiving to all y'all. I do appreciate everything you've done, Mr. Taylor.
Mayor, I really, really hate to make this request, but can we please get either buy some new chairs or get somebody to look at these chairs? Because when we're sitting in them, Well, maybe I need to lose some weight.
That was my comment, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, so,
Bill Bush, well, if you're out there, there's a couple other chairs we need to bring up, so I'll see if they get them adjusted, okay? All right,
I thought I had it fixed because I switched with Councilmember Robinson, but now this was doing the same thing.
Mr. Baxter.
Oh, Mayor, I'd just like to say thanks to all the city employees, all the residents of the city who came out and supported the race yesterday. This year, we actually had more of the course in North Little Rock than we have in the past, and it was good to see the folks still out supporting, even with the longer distance in North Little Rock, so thank you.
Real fast, thank you, and I agree. What did you run? Tell me. What'd you run?
I ran the half marathon. You don't just say just the half because it's still
That's
13 miles.
13 miles, right?
I ran it in 1:48 and change.
Way to go.
8:18 pace.
That's pretty good, proud for you. With that, also be aware that Thursday's pickup will be Friday, and Friday's pickup will be Saturday on sanitation. Am I saying that correctly? I'm pretty sure. We're just one day.
Yes.
December 5th, Christmas parade. December 9th, of course, the Justice Building open, and we'll have an open house at, I think, Shara, help me with that. 10 o'clock, but aren't we having some on the day before? On the 8th. Okay, good.
Wait.
Come up here, Shara, real fast, please, just in case.
I got this is wrong on my calendar. Yeah.
Real fast. The Justice Building is open December 9th, but we have a. Go ahead.
Opening is the 9th on Thursday at 10 a.m.
I got an open house. I got an open house and ribbon cutting at 2.
10.
At 10 a.m. And then the media tour is the day before at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the 8th.
Okay.
So 10 a.m.
Council members and department heads are invited to attend. No, it was at 2 p.m. 2 months ago. We've updated it.
Ms. Ross.
And also on the 9th, that's the day of the opening,
10 o'clock.
the tours.
We're doing tours all day up until 4 o'clock. We'll start the last one at 4 p.m. But if you need a tour, I know Chief Tessing we will accommodate whoever needs a tour if they cannot come during that time.
Right. And I say that because I've had some people that their little ones have watched this building being built and everything, and they're so excited about going and wanting to know what time school gets out. So yes, if they can be there before 4 o'clock, they can bring the littles to look at the new building.
Okay, what's happening Wednesday?
Media tour,
What time?
council members, and department heads, 10 a.m.
10?
10 a.m.
Okay.
And then the 9th,
10 a.m.
any questions?
Just for my curiosity, why we changed it from 2 o'clock to 10? 2 was.
Because Mayor Smith wanted to change it so we could do tours all day.
Oh, okay.
Great idea.
I've done, everybody. I think everybody knew that I have kind of stepped back. This was something that the council did on the 17th, and I thought that'd be nice to let him kind of run the show. And he's been working with Sharon, a lot of y'all right now, so that's why we did it, so we have more time for the event.
Remember, this is gonna be his going away. We didn't have one.
No, this is not his going away deal. I think it's right. I mean, Beth White, I've called Beth White to come. I mean, we got 2 plaques up there, so make a long story short, we did it to 10 so we could have everybody go through the building, and we'll probably have lots of people go to tours that way. Also, real fast, I'm gonna close this up. 23rd and 24th, you know what's happening in Christmas Inn, and of course, Christmas Day, and we'll be doing the same thing about sanitation routes.
Well, there will be no delay those days.
No. there will
Because those would be regular.
That's right, those are regular, in fact, because that's Saturday and Sunday, isn't it?
Yes, Christmas.
We'll get it straight. Anyway,
Yes.
one more thing, I don't think, real fast, I don't know if you saw it, but I am cleaning the stained glass as you come up the stairways. I think it's the first time it's been touched in, I think Ms. Ross said, over 20 years. So,
It's been within 20 years, but it's been a long time.
so with that, I'm listening for somebody. So move. Second.
On the motion to adjourn, Ross? Hamilton? Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Gann? And Height?
Yes.